Welcome along to the Motorsport News Ford Fiesta Junior Championship for 2012, round 4 of the inaugural season for this fantastic championship. And as you can see, problems in qualifying from the word go for the man who joined the championship in the last round at Donington Park, James Manning. He did recover to rejoin the race and will start 7th on the grid, which is headed by Jack Mitchell. Charlie Ladell alongside Freddie Lee on the second row of the grid with Aidan Moffat. Then it's Ben Wilcox and Bobby Thompson coming back for his second meeting, and of course James Manning in 7th. And conditions, as you can see here at Cadwell Park, are absolutely treacherous. Very, very wet indeed. And the youngsters who in qualifying did the best part of 8 laps will get it underway. Cracking start from Jack Mitchell from pole position. And Freddie Lee up into second position. There is James Manning at the back of the field. He's got the worst thing of all because he's got all the spray to deal with from the cars in front. Now Freddie Lee had a bearing problem in qualifying. They've changed that for the race and it seems to have done the business for him. He's looked pretty sharp thus far this weekend and he's up into second position. Charlie Ladell, the championship leader, behind him. Freddie, of course, the only driver aside from Charlie Ladell to have won in the championship, and he won the inaugural race, setting that little bit of history at Silverstone earlier on in the year. There's Freddie in car number 51. And Ladell looking up the inside, challenging for second place. He's got it, he's through on the inside. Aidan Moffat back in 4th place at the moment, and it's a great start, but car number 19, Jack Mitchell, it is that leads. Jack's results, as we said in the last programme from Donington Park, his results getting better and better and better. 4th and 2nd at Silverstone, then 3rd, 3 second places on the bounce from round 4, race 4 at Snetterton, and then a brace of second positions at Donington Park last time. And it was pole position for him this weekend, the first man to depose Charlie Ladell, so Lee gets a little bit of a bump there. Down in 3rd position and drops back. Clearly a problem with Fred Lee's car there at the end of lap number 1. So, well, bearing changed, as we said, after qualifying. And when the car's going, he is absolutely bang on the pace. Came up to have a look around the circuit a few weeks ago, and this is a very long circuit, of course, 2.173 miles. Now hopefully he'll be able to consolidate whatever problems he's got and bring the car home for some valuable points, but at the moment the Advent Motorsport car not on par with the 2 race leaders who are heading down into Park. Jack Mitchell still out front. Charlie Ladell, championship leader, in 2nd position. Ladell with 102 points in the championship, Jack Mitchell on 84. JJ Ross not with us this weekend, 67. Fred Lee 4th on 57, then Ben Wilcox and Aidan Moffat rounding up the top 6. But Mitchell makes the climb. Up into the hairpin, going through Hall Bends now, coming towards the conclusion of the lap, and the 2 WD boys really having a race. This one here is a big matter of pride for Charlie Ladell. Jack Mitchell, of course, wants to grab his first win in the championship through the right-hander at Barn. Then it's downhill. We're looking down towards the grid lines, the start-finish area here. You can see the pit wall, pit signals going out to the drivers. And if that shot doesn't just show you how wet it is, Cadwell, one of the trickiest circuits in the UK in the dry, but in the wet, of course, if you've got to deal with any standing water, spray as well, makes it all the more difficult to do. Cars on Park Straight and heading down towards Park Corner. Park Straight, not 100% straight, not dead straight as in Roman Road straight, but nonetheless it does give an overtaking opportunity. Sometimes here, down into Park Corner, sweeping right-hander which goes through into Chris Curve. And at the moment, there is absolutely no problem from the pole position setter, Jack Mitchell. 1:44.340 his qualifying time, 74 miles an hour. And the race times here, race conditions, much worse than they were in qualifying, and the guys lapping in 150s at the moment. They'll be looking to try and nail that down, this 15-minute race. Is the lead driver going to be having the problems? Look at the gap they've got over the 3rd place car. Aidan Moffat in 3rd, then that's Bobby Thompson in 4th place, so Bobby Thompson running well. This is his 2nd meeting, and looking for, he had 6th and 5th position at Snetterton in his first meeting. and he's running really well. 4th position for Bobby at the moment, so potentially on for his best ever result, and that's what he'll be looking for to improve race on race. He missed the last round at Donington because he was away karting. He's still going. There's a challenge for the lead down into Park Corner, and Charlie Ladell has a look at the inside line, but I don't think he quite had the momentum to go through. Certainly the wider racing line from Jack Mitchell holds him off, so out of Park, around Chris Curve. The circuit then heads down towards the gooseneck, but we catch up with Aidan Moffat still ahead of Bobby Thompson. So the pair of cars that are battling for 3rd place, climbing up the mountain and then into Hall Bends, which is where we're watching them come through now. Aidan Moffat hanging on to it, the 15-year-old from Dalkeith in Scotland, is running very well indeed. This is the view from Bobby Thompson's car. As you can see, plenty of glare, plenty of water being splashed up as well. Bob's got a fairly good view with the amount of rain we've had in recent weeks. If you talk to drivers of any saloon car formula, they'll tell you that one of the big problems is getting the front screen demisted, and you can see Bob's got something on the car there to blow some air on it to get that clear view for him, and that seems to be working. But back with the race leaders, Jack Mitchell's still there. 2nd position, championship leader is Charlie Ladell. He won't be overly concerned about a 2nd place finish here. It's 14 points for 2nd place. He'll want to try and win, but the one thing he won't want to do is throw it off. But certainly it's not going to be a big problem for his championship lead. It's going to be just 2 points if things stay like this. Will be the dent, plus of course whoever gets fastest lap. And at the moment, Charlie Ladell fastest lap, 1 minute 49.748, and they're averaging on this very tight circuit and very wet circuit 71.28 miles per hour. So that's going to gain Ladell the extra point, so that's going to help him out just a little bit as they go again down out of the old hairpin down to Barn Corner, which is where our camera is, and they'll fly down the straight again. These two really giving a terrific demonstration to the supporters that have turned out to brave the conditions here today. All parked just on the A153 between Horncastle and Louth in Lincolnshire. Here's the 3rd place scrap again. Bobby Thompson really putting the pressure on Aidan Moffat at the moment. Freddie is still running in 5th position behind these guys, but a little way back, and Aidan Moffat looking for a podium here. Took his first podium at Donington Park in race 1, if you remember. Took 4th place in the other race. So Aidan, another driver whose results have been getting better and better in the championship as he gains more experience of the cars. Of course, all of these drivers learning these circuits as well, possibly with the exception of Charlie, who might have raced here. I haven't checked the 750 records from last year, but he's had a lot more circuit racing experience. New car for him, of course, and new competitors to race against, and that's just as important. It's getting to know who you're racing against, trusting them, knowing what they can do on circuit. Aidan Moffat looking a little bit happier in 3rd place now, starting to pull out a bit of a gap over Bobby Thompson in car number 9, but the race leaders now moving on to the last 2.1 miles around the circuit, and Jack Mitchell it is that leads this one at the moment in car number 19. Behind him the championship leader Charlie Ladell, still putting him under pressure as they go around Coppice, out through Charlie's for the last time down on Park Straight. And away from our camera position here, these lads have done a superb job, and it looks like Ladell's going to have a look up the inside line again. Only really half a gap there. Braking, of course, is going to be all the more difficult in the wet, and Mitchell hangs on to it. So into Park Corner, he's got Chris Curve, the Gooseneck, Mansfield, the Hairpin, Hall Bends, Barn Corner, all to negotiate and to hold off Charlie Ladell, who's all over the back of him at the moment. We said Ladell's got the fastest lap. That maintains from the last lap as well. Up the mountain for the last time they go into Hall Bends. Ladell looks to the inside, looks to the outside line as well. He really is putting the race leader under pressure. Now there's another potential overtake here when they come down into the old hairpin. Let's see whether he can do it. No, he's a little bit too far back, and the race leader Jack Mitchell holds his line. Short straight, run down into Barn Corner, and that is pretty much pitch perfect for the race leader Jack Mitchell, who comes down the hill, and there's the checkered flag. Jack Mitchell wins his first ever Fiesta Junior race. He's the 3rd driver to take a victory. Championship leader Charlie Ladell will take second place, and we're waiting for third position. Aidan Moffat on the last timing screen, they're about 18 seconds down. So here is Aidan Moffat. Bobby Thompson scored up again and closed the gap, but the last podium position goes to Aidan Moffat. Moffat crossing the line in third place, Bobby Thompson in fourth. Fifth position, some way back in the rain, Freddie. Let's see if Freddie can pick up the points for fifth position. That's going to be 11 points for him. Here he is in the 51 car, lights ablaze, brings the car home. He'll be out for race number 2, and of course the positions, grid positions for race 2 determined by the results of race 1, the 7th race of the 2012 championship, which was won by Jack Mitchell in car number 19, the Kent-based driver winning. Charlie Ladell gets second and fastest lap, Aidan Moffat third, Bobby Thompson, best result for him, fourth place, then Freddie Lee fifth from Ben Wilcox in sixth position. And of course James Manning, using the race to learn the track after those problems in qualifying, he comes home in seventh place.
Welcome to another episode of Racing No Filter. Joining me in sunny California, Bill Wood, and down in sunny Florida, Peter Keene.
We're going to take a look at some of the products HPD has created for the 2012 Honda Civic, and specifically we're going to show you how to install an adjustable sway bar.
Until then, folks out there, you take care.
Want to keep up with all the racing action at the track? Well, download the new Go Racing TV iPhone and Android app. And remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Race 2 for the Motorsport News Ford Fiesta Junior Championship here at Cadwell Park. And pole position to race 1 winner Jack Mitchell, Charlie Ladell, the championship leader alongside. Row 2, Aidan Moffat and Bobby Thompson. Fred Lee in car number 51 on the inside of row 3. Ben Wilcox next to him, and completing the grid is James Manning. Fred Lee, car number 51 then, moves up to third place in the championship despite having missed the last round at Donington Park. He's now got 68 points, 67 to Moffat in fourth, 66 to Ben Wilcox in fifth position. So just, well, 3 points separating those three drivers. That's how close it is. Away they go. Great start by Jack Mitchell from pole position. Down into the left-hander at Coppice. Charlie Ladell trying to hold on. Now down behind them, it's Fred Lee up into fourth place. He's outgunned Bobby Thompson into turn 1. And he's chasing. It's Aidan Moffat in front. So Fred through the gears very quickly indeed. Through Coppice, now into Charlie's, up over the rise, downhill, down into the dip before they go back up into Park Corner. There is Freddie, the black 51 car, fourth position, and there was a little challenge on there for third, but at the moment loses a little bit of ground and will get his race bearing sorted out. Ben Wilcox in red is in fifth position, Bobby Thompson is sixth, and let's not forget James Manning getting it off the line again, the man who's had less track time than everybody this weekend. Still there and running in seventh place. So what this does show you is how competitive it is. So we're on board with the driver who finished fourth in race number 1, finds himself down in 6 here, and all these guys so evenly matched championship points wise. So we just proved that with 66, 67, 68 points, fifth to third in the championship. So what you're really saying is, out of those three, Lee, Wilcox and Moffat, whoever finishes ahead in this one is going to go away with third place. It's not going to be Moffat with a wheel on the grass. Is he going to go in the barrier that beckons? Aidan Moffat, oh, great collect up from him to keep the car out of the barrier. That could have been a very expensive exercise, but Moffat gets back on circuit and he's down in 6th place. So a potential and off goes the race leader, and it's 32. It's Charlie Ladell who goes wide and through on the inside. to take the lead is Jack Mitchell. Jack Mitchell probably didn't think that was coming. That was a real present for him. Freddie in third place, significantly not being lost by the two WDE cars. Now I can tell you that Freddie lost his ABS in race 1. That's why he was far back. And in this one, he is absolutely gunning. He's had nothing but problems so far in this meeting with that bearing failure in qualifying. And then ABS lost in race 1, but significantly got the car home. And with it moved up into third place in the championship. So all good close stuff between those at the moment, and Fred trying to close in on the WDE Motorsport boys. So looking pretty good for him, and a lot of work to do. But in front of him, the key thing for him though is to look at the two cars in front of him, and we know that the 51 car had the pace and was pulling away from these guys and actually catching the race leader, and the two cars in front will be battling and potentially slowing each other up. So there is a chance still of not only a podium but maybe a second place shot. We can see Jack Mitchell away and down the road. Mitchell lapping in the low 150s and getting away with it, but it's effectively now 4 cars, has over half the field dicing for second position in this Motorsport News Ford Fiesta Junior Championship in its inaugural year. So many people looking at it. It's such a cost-effective championship, as many of the drivers are finding. It's you could pretty much make a direct switch over from karting, and top-line karters are saying this is cheaper than some of the karting options that are out there, and it's getting you in a saloon car, it's getting you into a touring car type environment and gaining circuit racing experience. So splashing through, 4 cars all dicing over second, and it's Ben Wilcox up there at the moment in the 88 car who has that second position. This is the view from Freddie. This is what the drivers have to cope with. You can see, all you can see is spray, so you've got to get the car round, you've got to figure out where you're going. If you're dicing for position, you've got to try and work out where the cars in front are slower, and also where there's an opportunity to nip through into the lead. All that while hacking around the fastest points of the track, probably getting up to 95 miles an hour. They're averaging here 70 in the wet as we go on board with Freddie again. And look at this cracking scrap. On for second place in front of him. Aidan Moffat's through into second. Now is it going to be a cutback from Ben Wilcox, who's going to try and retake it again? Ben Wilcox in red, he's back through, back into second position. What a superb scrap for second place we've got. And Freddie's going to have to try and work out if he can get past Aidan Moffat as well. Ben Wilcox proving his worth here as a racer, fighting his way. He was gifted second position earlier on, but he's been fighting for it here. Down into... oh, and he's back. Aidan Moffat back into second place. What an absolute belter this is turning out. These two have certainly been in a race. So too has Fred Lee, and Bobby Thompson coming up to join in as well. Up the mountain, that big climb. You have to come and see it for yourself. It looks steep there. It's even steeper in real life. So if you haven't been to Cadwell, treat yourself to a weekend away in Lincolnshire. Come and have a look at some superb action. Plenty of BRSCC meetings. Moffat gets it a bit squirrely there, and Aidan Moffat gets a little bit of breathing space in the 43 car, down into the old hairpin. But he's gone wide, and Wilcox tries to force his way up the inside. That's what Freddie Lee was doing earlier on the inside of Charlie Ladell. So at the moment it's Moffat, Wilcox, Lee, Thompson back in fifth position. Sixth place is James Manning. So James still on circuit, he's going to pick up some points. The overall championship's going to close up, but this is Ben Wilcox, who's got himself back into up into third position. He's got to try and get himself back into second through the spray ahead. We can see the young Scot, Aidan Moffat. Let's see where he can close down on him through Charlie's. This is now onto Park Straight. You can see we go down the dip and then the climb back up into Park Corner. At the moment he's a little bit too far back, I suspect, defending from Fred Lee at the moment. Changes down as he comes into Park, turns in very neatly. Bit of a straight, then into the very, very long sweeping right-hander Chris curve, and then a straight from here down towards the gooseneck. So Ben Wilcox, well, even in third position, it could be a first podium beckoning for him, which is going to be great news if he can do it, but of course he wants to try and grab second place. These two running absolutely superbly as they come out of Mansfield and back down, back up I should say, back up the mountain. You can see Freddie in close quarters at the moment with the 88 car, so Aidan Moffat, a real game of cat and mouse between Moffat and Wilcox. Bobby Thompson dropping back a little bit from the 3 cars in front of him, but still snuggled into 5th position at the moment. But Moffat in car number 43 holding sway in 2nd place. Jack Mitchell away down the road at the moment in car number 19 and looking for his 2nd win. Remember, he became the 3rd different winner in the championship. As the cars go on to the last lap, Freddie Lee winning round number 1, the opening round, and setting the history books with that first win at Silverstone. Since then, it's been Charlie Ladell who got away in the lead of this one, but then ran wide at Barn Corner on the first lap. We're on board with Ben Wilcox, potentially heading for a maiden podium position. Wilcox best result, a brace of 4th positions, as we said earlier in the race, and it looks like he's going to better that this weekend on a very tricky race day here at Cadwell Park in Lincolnshire with 3rd place. But Aidan Moffat still in 2nd at the moment. Moffat heading for his best result too. 2 3rd positions for him thus far. Into Park Corner he goes. Freddie down in 4th position behind them. This is where they were trading places earlier on, and Wilcox seems to be faster on this part of the circuit, but there's not room on the inside. Let's see whether he's going to position the car down the inside and have a look as they come out of Chris Curve. Drops away just a little bit, car or so's length between 2nd and 3rd place. Down the hill into Mansfield, here's the race leader. Jack Mitchell is clear. He's about 9 seconds clear of the battle for 2nd position as he climbs up the mountain for the last time. Mitchell in the WDE Motorsport car. Wayne Easton's team have won all but one of the races so far in the Motorsport News Ford Fiesta Junior Championship for 2012. And it's been a superb weekend for Mitchell, who took pole position, win in race number 1. He wasn't leading as they came through the last corner on the first lap. That was his teammate, but the significant thing is that he's brought it home. Applause on the pit wall and the checkered flag for Jack Mitchell, who takes it back on board for 2nd place. Bang! Ben Wilcox into Aidan Moffat, who goes off. Well, that was, sorry, wasn't into Barn, that was into the old hairpin. Coming into Barn now, Wilcox gathering it all up. Is he going to lose 2nd position? Fred Lee's right behind him, and they come down. Fred Lee's going for 2nd place, side by side. The checkered flag's out. Wilcox just, I think, nabbed it on the timing screen from Fred Lee, who was challenging for 2nd position. Wilcox gets a maiden podium, and you've got a feel for Aidan Moffat, who was looking for 2nd position as they came into the old hairpin for the last time. Confirmation of the result. Jack Mitchell takes the win. Ben Wilcox 2nd, Freddie Lee 3rd and fastest racing lap of the weekend. Bobby Thompson 4th from Aidan Moffat, and James Manning completing the runners in 6th position.
Again another good start. This time Charlie got in front of me, but he made a mistake which allowed me to get in front of him. But Charlie and Freddie were both pushing hard behind me, but I think they both made a few mistakes which gave me a gap. So towards the end I just settled down and tried to not make any mistakes and keep the win.